Greetings, kindred spirits, and welcome to those of you that are new. This is the 13 Star Sign Astrology forecast and energy update for the next 2 weeks. So the full moon reaches its peak in Aries in the true lifetime sky on the 24th of October at 17:45 in the GMT time zone and at 12:45 in the EDT time zone. And all I can say is wow. Hold on to your hats because the energies coming in are chaotic and abrupt. The moon in Aries creates a lot of volatility when it comes to our emotions and desires. Impulsiveness can be the moon in Aries' biggest downfall when it comes to acting without thinking, or considering the consequences or how it will affect the people around them. So our full moon will also be in conjunct to Uranus, which will bring up a lot of unrest and agitation. It is very important that we keep our 2 feet on the ground as our imagination, our dreams and desires become more urgent and insatiable. The transitional T-square between our moon's nodes, Uranus and Mars, which has been in effect since the beginning of June, has transitioned into a grand cross at present, co-joined with the grand aspect the kite, and our full moon is in the mix of them all. Mars has moved away from the south node now, but is still having difficulty in changing his way of thinking and communicating in a balanced way, although he is now working on his self-esteem and self-nurture. So the masculine energy is still battling with his ego. And as Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, where our full moon is taking place, it is important that we stay grounded, stay focused, and keep working on our self-nurture and self-esteem. Even for those of us who have put in a lot of effort to keep ourselves grounded and stable will find it difficult to navigate through the energies coming in. The problem with some is that they are pushing forward on the things that feed their ego and not moving forward on the things that truly matter, things that would truly fulfill their soul's growth and destiny. And like I said before, we will all have to face our destiny, whether it be the hard way or the easy way. We must overcome our pride and accept our failures by being honest and turning all our downfalls in life into a source of great wisdom. The South Node is at the helm of the kite and is in Capricorn. And although Mars is moving away, the Black Moon, Lilith and Pluto are closing in and joining forces. So some could feel that, they have the weight of the world on their shoulders, or feeling the pressure of the establishment and obligations. There is a deep desire for many to live independently and to help others gain their own fairness and justice. Many teachers are beginning to rise out of the ashes now of their painful experiences and sufferings and have turned their pain and sorrow into healing tools. What we really need to be aware of this full moon and for the next 2 weeks is that we are being given the rope as a test to see if we are going to follow our ego or surrender ourselves to truth. Self-honesty first, of course, and then honesty with others. The more we hold on to our pride is the more burdensome our life's journey will become. But the sooner we drop the ego and open ourselves up to the truth, then the quicker we will arrive on our destined path. The Black Moon, Lilith and Pluto, they're partners in mythology and are very loyal towards each other. As a matter of fact, they are the most loyal couple out of all the planetary relationships because they both take their life's mission very seriously. But they're also considered the Bonnie and the Clyde of the zodiac and often cause a lot of devastation and chaos wherever they go. But at the same time, they enlighten us to our shadow, our ego, and how we project that onto others. As they are both sitting on top of the grand aspect, the kite, we must be aware that when we get as high as a kite, or when we feel we have reached the top and achieved success in our expectations, we may suddenly realise that it wasn't what we expected, or that it leads to an abrupt ending. This is a time now of shattered dreams and having to pick up the pieces for some, especially when it comes to intimate relationships and business partnerships. We must not count our chickens before they hatch, but surrender to the unknown with faith that wherever our path takes us, it will be towards our destiny. For some of us, this is a time where you will enter into the dark night of the soul. And although this experience is initially a painful process, there is actually a lot of wisdom and beautiful experiences that can be felt throughout the process, especially that of self-love and the unity we develop with the divine. Out of the ashes, the phoenix will rise in her full glory to begin anew. So keep the faith, because if this is happening to you, you are going through a powerful transformation. Some experience this as a Kundalini awakening, but either way, it will direct you onto your true path in life. On the other hand, though, for those of us that have already been through the dark night of the soul and have turned all our pain and sorrow into healing tools, this is a time of further ascension and downloads. So don't feel too bad if you haven't been able to, perform in your healing work how you had planned, because if the energies aren't affecting you directly, they are definitely affecting the people around you, which could prove just as distracting and draining. And I'm talking emotionally draining. The mind is active, but the body has become fragile with the erratic energy that has been coming in since the eclipses throughout the summer. So some may just be on the burnout and need to rest without feeling guilty about it. But what really caught my eye when I was looking at the chart wheel for the GMT time zone is that Saturn is 8.8 degrees in the 8th house of Libra. This 888 energy is all about manifestations and abundance and reaping what we've sown. So I definitely feel that whatever manifestations or circumstances that were occurring around the Lion's Gate are now ready to manifest into the material world. Or there will be a reoccurrence of them in some way. 8 is the number of balance and abundance, but also the number of lack and repetitive cycles. So both Saturn and the number 8 are very karmic. So what we've put in, we're going to get out. That 8th house in the true lifetime sky, as I said, is ruled by Libra. And Libra is the sign of balance and justice. The 8th house represents partnerships of all kinds, inheritances, taxes, investments, how we handle our own and other people's money. So there could also be unexpected windfalls with this placement, or a payout that is owed. Also, it could be that justice is served where dues will have to be paid. In the EDT time zone, Saturn is 8.8 degrees in the 1st house of appearances and attitudes. But what caught my eye with the EDT time zone was that the asteroid Pallas is 1.1 degrees in the 10th house of Ophiuchus, and 1 and 0 equals 1. So this is a 111 energy that I feel is connected to the 1st house where Saturn is transiting with this 8-8 energy. So to cut a long story short, because I'm not a numerologist as such, I feel strongly that a completion is being reached with regards to justice being served, probably regarding women or the feminine energy. So fingers crossed it will be justice that is based on truth and not on appearances. Also, both the 8th house and Saturn rule money and businesses on a corporate level. So karma will definitely be played out when it comes to the tax office, local and national government agencies, also large corporations, banks, etc. So I want to get back into the discussion of the Tao of the kite's energy, where the North Node sits, because for those of us that are reaching for the stars and hitting the brick wall, you know, there will also be those that are working hard to keep themselves grounded and focused and committed to their destiny. You know, there's a lot of achievement to be had within relationships or career. The North Node is in sextile to Juno as well, so this energy creates beautiful, committed relationships that are long-term and destined for mission work. Sometimes the things we desire the most and are good for our soul are right under our nose, but we're just too blind to see it. You know, because we've got such high expectations. So this kite energy is a test of our faith, our inner knowing, our inner strength, and our self-love. If something ends abruptly, then let it go, because there is something more meaningful and better that will be coming in. You know, so if we're reaching for the stars and we do hit that brick wall, if we do witness an abrupt ending, or if relationships do kind of come to an end, just know that there is something better coming in. So for this full moon and the next 2 weeks, I would highly recommend grounding techniques, sound therapy, and lots of meditation, and not necessarily sitting in silence, although that would be great if we were able to do that. Also, breathing techniques would be highly beneficial, because we tend to shallow breathe when we're excited or nervous. You know, I've personally had a lot going on with my third eye chakra over the last few weeks, and ringing in my ears. So, you know, that's why I keep messing up on my words, because I can't hear properly. And this has been going on for a few months now, actually, with my ears. But now my third eye's starting to get mad visions. I won't go into detail, but yeah. So I do feel it's the higher chakra points that are being affected for those of us that have been on this path for a long time. But for those of you that are just going through or coming out from the dark night of the soul, then it's likely to be the lower chakra points that are being activated and healed. But once again, I feel the chakra point we should be aware of the most is our solar plexus, because this is the central point in the chakra system. So for this full moon, I recommend burning a yellow candle and rose or lavender incense for clarity and calming. Also use splashes of bright colours among deep autumn colours to feel positive about letting go of the old and allowing the new to come in. You know, this Juno in sextile to the North Nodes, I mean, for those of you that are in the Twin Flame Collective, this is quite a powerful energy. And for some of you, you might end up with a partner that is completely unexpected. So who you thought was your twin flame might actually turn out to not be the one. So just be open to that. Anyway, the affirmation I have set for this full moon is: all of my life experiences have served me well and led me to where I need to be. I am a beautiful soul. So yeah, I hope that resonates with you. If it does, please like, subscribe and share. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And I'll speak to you all again soon. And first, you know, I do apologise actually, because I have promised you a few more podcasts, you know, especially about the trans-Neptunians and stuff like that. So just bear with me, because I'm even suffering under these energies at the moment, and I'm trying to navigate my way through them. So just be patient, and hopefully I shall speak to you all again soon. So sending you all peace and much love.